Hey YouTube, it is your girl Dr. J, and I am back with a video that was requested when I did my update video, and that was people wanted to hear about the 3-year high school engineering program that Speedster is in. This program was originally created by Auburn University. And the purpose of the program was they noticed that when students were coming in to Auburn University to major in engineering, a lot of times they really hadn't had a good level of exposure in their high school courses. And so there was a little bit of a shock when they would start their engineering courses at the collegiate level, and it would be really discouraging. Sometimes it would take them a long time to be able to complete their classes, thus delaying graduation. Or some students would get so discouraged that they actually would change majors or drop out. And so they wanted to make sure that there was an opportunity for there to be a bridge between high school and college. And so they created this program. The premise of the program is that if you go through all 3 years of the program, you will have been introduced to most of the introductory level engineering concepts that will be taught in those first few years of college as an engineering major, so you won't have that shock. You will know exactly what you're going to be going into, and because you're familiar with it, it won't be new to you. That will make the college experience that much better and will help students to be able to graduate in those 4 to 5 years that colleges talk about. And it made a lot of sense for us because as a homeschooler, you really don't have, we have a lot of magnet schools around us that are engineering based and have engineering programs, but that's not something that I could provide in my homeschool. And so the fact that my son was going to have this opportunity to do 3 full years of high school level engineering work that was actually going to introduce him to some college level concepts, it just made a lot of sense, and we were really on board with that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you information about the program, and while I'm talking about that, I'm going to sprinkle in what were our experiences with the program, from Speedster's experience as a student and my experience as a parent with this program. So first of all, again, it is a 3-year program. Speedster has done the first year. You guys are going to see me look into the side a little bit, and that's because I have his computer up, and I'm going to be giving you some information directly from their website. I'm going to put a link to the website in the course description, but this is the Catapult Engineering Academy. Catapult Engineering Academy. It's catapultea.com. Like I said, I'm going to put a link in the description box to the website so that you can get some more information there. But first, I'm going to talk about the 3 years of courses. So the first year is Introduction to Solid Modeling and Engineering Design. And it says that this course is a 2-semester course that teaches students basic hand drawing techniques, 2D and 3D computer-aided design, and solid modeling, and introduces students to fundamental concepts related to engineering design. They have partnered with Solid Professor to provide the same SolidWorks tutorial videos that they deliver to industry clients. This was 100% true. My son got so good with SolidWorks, and it is the same SolidWorks that's done in industry, the exact same software, the exact same tutorials that they're using with industry professionals. We confirmed this not only through SolidWorks, but actually our experience in seeing some businesses that we did some tours of and talked to people who are working in the fields right now. And yes, it is the same SolidWorks. Speedster was able to get so good with SolidWorks that for his robotics team, SolidWorks did a competition where they were going to provide grants to some FRC teams if they completed a SolidWorks challenge. And Speedster was able to complete the challenge for his team and got a $1,000 grant from SolidWorks for his FRC team because he was able to complete the challenge on behalf of his team to do a SolidWorks design. Also, for his science fair project, he actually designed his project in SolidWorks and designed some pieces of his project because he did an engineering-based project where he did some design a design concept and did some testing on that. He also designed a piece for his project that he needed in SolidWorks and 3D printed that. So he was able to do the entire, all the modeling of it, everything in SolidWorks because of what he learned from this course. And the thing that I really liked about the course was that it wasn't just kind of, hey, read this or watch these videos. It really did have good, solid projects that built upon one another. They had tests. I mean, it was like, hey, this is what's going to, it basically is saying this is what you're going to experience if you go into an engineering classroom in college. So the tests were, solid. There were multiple choice questions. There were open answer questions. There were essay questions. They were choose all questions. Like all of that was there. He also had writing projects that he had to do. They were called learning reflections. So he would have to do these writing projects every 2 weeks that they would grade. Wonderful feedback from the teaching assistants. The teaching assistants are actually Auburn University graduate level engineering students. So they are, he was able to ask questions from students who understand the concepts that were being taught. If we needed to reach out to the director of the program, that was never an issue. They had great communication with him as far as giving him good feedback, detailed feedback on everything that he turned in. Good feedback on during their live sessions because he had to do some live presentations via computer, and they gave great feedback with those. They were flexible with scheduling those around his schedule. That made it very easy, and the projects were just absolutely top notch. We were very happy with it. The target audience for this course is 9th through 12th graders, and the prerequisite or co-requisite is Algebra 1. I would probably recommend students already have completed Algebra 1 before they take this course because there was definitely some math involved because hey, you're doing design and modeling, and he would have to answer questions like, okay, if you change this component, how is that going to impact how your project, the height of your project, the width, scale this up to this, scale this down to that. I mean, it was very intricate, but it was amazing. It talks about, I really like how they break it down to what's the content knowledge, what are the hard skills, what are the soft skills that you're going to learn. So Year 1, we can get feedback on, and it was great. Year 2 is what Speedster is going to be going into in the fall, and that is engineering instrumentation and analysis. And again, it's a 2-semester course that is going to introduce students to the major fields of engineering through 5 to 9 week units that feature research and or design projects focused on specific engineering disciplines. Through the project, students become familiar with standard engineering instrumentation used to acquire data, various strategies and tools for analyzing data, and fundamental concepts from each of the engineering disciplines that is investigated. And then again, they do technical communication with oral and written reports. And it's again really solid. They tell you what hard skills and soft skills will be taught. And for this course, for instance, they're going over things like univariate and bivariate data analysis, applications of Newton's law to truss analysis using the method of joints, basic material properties, introduction to finite element analysis, digital signal processing, digital sound, digital imaging and video, electrical circuits, DC resistive, basic kinetics and energy transfer, and the development of numerical models of physical systems. And they talk about you're going to get proficiency in spreadsheet software like Excel, proficiency in presentation software like PowerPoint, and working knowledge of typesetting using LaTeX, the LaTeX software, which is capital L and then A and then capital T, then E and capital X. Building simple circuits on breadboards, proficiency in measuring voltage and current with a multimeter, working knowledge of modeling circuits using National Instruments multiism, and working knowledge of developing numerical models of physical systems. So for this one, the prerequisite or co-requisite is geometry, and they recommend this course for students in 10th through 12th grade. So it's going to, it definitely sounds, more demanding. The first course was definitely an introductory course. This one sounds more demanding. Like I said, we're going into this course, or he's going into it, and I'm just going to sit back and watch. But he's going into this course in the fall. I will ask him if he's willing to do a review at the end of that. If not, I'll just get information from him and do a review at the end of the school year next year. But that's what he's going to do. And then for the last course, Engineering Computation with MATLAB and or MapView. It is a 2-semester course, again, that introduces students to fundamental programming logic and concepts that are implemented in the context of engineering applications using MATLAB and MapView. Now, I really love this because my husband is an engineer, and he said absolutely he was using MATLAB when he was in college, and he uses MATLAB professionally. And so this is absolutely learning to utilize the software and hardware that you will be using as a college engineering student. So I think that you can't ask for anything more, especially as a homeschooler, because I don't know another way that I would be able to get my son the skills that he would need to have a smooth transition into college, going into engineering, then through this program for us. This is how it's going to work for us, because even though he's is in an early college program at one university, and he's going to be taking some dual enrollment courses at some other universities, still he would not have an opportunity to take this level of engineering courses, because sometimes the MATLAB, LabVIEW, all those sort of things, those are not necessarily going to be your freshman or sophomore level courses. That's going to be some of the stuff that you might not get into until your junior year of college. And so he's going to be able to have that really good head start. For the third year of courses, the prereq and co-requisite is geometry as well. And again, it's targeted to 10th through 12th graders. So just some of my thoughts about the program: extremely homeschool friendly. They do have students in this program. They actually, sometimes they're private school students. Sometimes they do this as a class in public schools. So this was not a program that was specifically designed for homeschoolers, but they are incredibly homeschool friendly, very respectful of the homeschool process. They had great communication with me. For instance, for their tests, the tests are proctored. And so when it was time for him to take a speedster to take a test, they would send me the code and say, okay, he's supposed to take his test on Friday. He has 45 minutes. Here's his code. And so I would give him the code when he was ready. He knew how much time he had. And then the program would, the clock would start and the countdown would start. So he would know when he had to be finished with his test. It would say, you can't submit anymore after that. So that was really good. If you have a child that needs accommodations, they will work with you for, any accommodations that's needed. It was, the rigor was there. I was very impressed with that. I was very impressed with the quality of the projects that he did and how they built on one another. I was impressed with the transferability of the skills that he learned. For instance, he is right now getting some SolidWorks certifications. And some of the certifications, he was pretty much able to just kind of read through and go, okay, I'm ready to sit for the test for this certification now, because he had done so much work in SolidWorks during his course that he could be certified, get some of the certifications just from what he learned in that class. Now, the SolidWorks certification, that's not a part of Catapult Engineering Academy. That was through SolidWorks itself. but it just was really solid, and he was able to use this SolidWorks is growing tremendously in so many fields of engineering. It is being used in industry left and right right now. And so the fact that he, as a 13-year-old, as a high schooler, but a young high schooler, is able to sit at the table and have conversations about this software and show his skills in this software with people who are professionals in the field, that's a result of this course. And so I would definitely say, if you have a high schooler who's thinking about majoring in engineering, or just wants to do something a little outside of the box, and you as a homeschool parent don't want to have to create these things for your child, I would definitely recommend it. Now, let's get to the nitty gritty, because we all got, right? Like, we gonna be honest. Y'all know I always am going to be honest with you guys. Oh, one thing, they use Canvas. So if you're wondering what sort of what platform they use Canvas. And so what I am going to go to now is giving you guys price, okay? And so this is what we paid, and this is the price that they have now. Basically, if you register for both classes, because each year it's 2 classes. You can register for just one class, or you can register for both classes. We register for both classes. Both classes, $700 total. If you bought the classes separately, it's $425 per class. So for instance, for engineering, the engineering 120, which is Introduction to Solid Modeling and Engineering Design, that is $700. If you only wanted to take like Introduction to Solid Modeling, the part 1, it will be $425. So for us, it just made sense to register for the entire year. The pacing was fine. One of the things that I loved, it's because you're dealing with real people. The teaching assistants are real people, right? And so because they're real people, they would actually contact me and say, hey, are you guys doing spring break? When is your spring break? And we'll build that into his schedule so that we're not assigning him work when you all have spring break. So it was that sort of, the ability to customize it to meet your needs. But there's real people that you're dealing with. And so they would adjust his deadlines, if we were going to do spring break, winter break, when are you guys, stopping for holiday break? They would ask us those things so that they could adjust his schedule accordingly. So, is it expensive? Yes. $700 for a course is expensive. Do I think it's worth it? Absolutely. I would pay it again. I am paying it again because he's going to do the next year. And I know that Salamander is going to do at least the first year of this, as well as he starts to figure out, exactly where he wants to go, what fields he wants to go into. So when he hits high school, he's going to be doing this, and Faster Fox may at least do the first year of the program as well. So I'm not just paying that $700 once. I'm willing to pay it again because it was a really solid course. Can I tell you to pay the $700 for the second year course or the third year course? I can't tell you that yet because we haven't experienced it. But y'all know me. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to cape for a company if they not on the up and up. I've always given you solid reviews. So I know that, $700 for a class, that's just not possible for some people. If it is possible for you and you have a child that's interested in going into engineering as a high schooler, I would say jump on it. Now, here are the people who I would say don't jump yet, right? If you have a child that is in middle school, like 6th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, and you say they just really like engineering and I really think it's going to work for them, I wouldn't encourage you to pay $700 for this course if your child is in 6th grade. The reason is because there are other ways to learn SolidWorks that would be a better fit for a 6th grader, because this class is not just about the projects. It also has tests. The tests were very challenging based on the coursework that was involved. Is not just videos, it's also some reading. They are very adamant that they're trying to set you up for success in college. So it tells you when we go over this once, you're expected to, anything that we've gone over in this course can show up on any test at any time, because you're responsible for all the content that you get. That's what college is like, and this is trying to be a bridge to college. I would not put that pressure on like a 6th grader. Also, there's writing reflections that are required. Those are graded as well. And so you might have a kid that they're very much interested in engineering, and they think that, CAD design would be really fun, but there's all these other aspects of it. This is set up, I would say, very much as a hybrid high school college course. So it might not be a good fit for your child that really just likes engineering, but they're not in that doing high school level work right now. I would not take this course just to kind of get a feel for what engineering is all about. I think it's very expensive as just an exploratory course. I think this is much better. This is a much better fit if your child knows that or has a strong feeling like they would like to go the engineering route. They have some more questions. They might not be able to say, I want to do mechatronics or civil or electrical, but they know they want to go into engineering. I would recommend it for that. I wouldn't recommend it if you're trying to do kind of career exploration and it's like, I don't know if we want to go into engineering or history or English. I probably wouldn't spend the money for, just kind of career exploration. So let me know. Like I said, I'm going to put a description, the link to Catapult Engineering in the description box. You can call them and ask them questions, email them, whatever. You can even tell them that I sent you, and that's fine. But I'm open to answer questions, but y'all, I don't work for this company and they are not paying me to do this video. So if y'all have like very specific questions, I would encourage you to contact the company. I would encourage you to email them and talk to somebody that is on their payroll so you can get some good answers. And so, they'll take the time and really sit down and talk to you about it. But if you want to ask me about the parent experience in it, I'm definitely willing to answer those questions. I can ask Speedster some questions. If you guys have questions for him, he's not going to sit down and do a video. But I can ask him some questions about it and relay that back to you. But I would encourage you to reach out to the company for more specific questions about the company itself. So I hope this helps. This is Dr. J, and I'm out. Bye-bye.